Last night was so fun. I had a ball sitting around the tables in the fellowship hall, talking with people over dinner, and then seeing the kids singing the choir, and then being around a table with a study group. It was just wonderful. Times like that have been such a big part of my faith journey. On Sunday in the sermon, I shared about how Matt was such a horrible baby that we used to joke that it took us 5 years to get up the courage to have another child. Well, there's a little bit of truth in that. Matt did cry a lot and scream a lot. But really what was so hard was that a few hours after his birth, a nurse noticed that he had stopped breathing in his sleep. And this was something that happened several times over the next few months. And so when he came home from the hospital a few days later, he came home with an apnea monitor that would alert us when he had gotten so relaxed that he'd stopped breathing in his sleep. We took infant CPR, and there was no way that we would let him be with anyone else. Around-the-clock care with him. You just never knew when a child would fall asleep, and as you're rocking him, or in one of those little swings. You just had to always be ready that he might fall asleep and that he needed to be on the monitor in those cases. We had been going to church that we'd been visiting, and even though I'd helped with the VBS and we'd gone to some of the new member classes, we weren't really connected. And when we stopped attending, we fell through the cracks. No one noticed that we weren't around anymore. When we were expecting our second child, Mark, we started visiting other churches at that time, wanting to raise our children in the church. And once again, we went through the experience of a son with sleep apnea, only this time we weren't so surprised. This time, though, our experience at church was incredibly different. We'd been going to a Sunday school class, and they showed up with casseroles when we came home from the hospital. And when Debbie, one of our classmates, heard that we probably wouldn't be coming back to church for a while because we couldn't put Mark in the nursery, then Debbie decided that she was going to take infant CPR classes. And she took those classes, and she came over to our house, and we taught her how to use the apnea monitor. And then on Sunday mornings, she would show up in the nursery and she would say, "I am here to watch Mark. I am not here to work in the nursery. I am here to watch Mark." And we knew that he was not going to fall through the cracks, that she was paying attention to him, and she would play with him, and she would take him for walks. And it was like a date just to go to Sunday school with my husband and sit next to him. And oh my goodness, the connections and the friendships and that gift that Debbie gave us, it changed everything. And looking back now, I see how those connections and friendships we made in that Sunday school class were part of how God was reaching out to us and drawing us into faith. If you were at the 9:30 service on Sunday, you heard Shirley Wilson talk about how God worked in her life, bringing healing when she was part of a Sunday school class and then part of Reverend Gail's Bible study group. I've seen it over and over that in these small groups that God makes such a difference in our lives. Now, you may have seen the list of small groups and Bible studies, and we'll have those out again this Sunday, and there'll be people at the tables between the services and after the services to let you know about those. But I want to say that if you don't see a small group or Bible study that fits who you are, that it is okay. It is downright good just to start one. I heard from Terry Lim yesterday that he had an idea to start a men's group, and that was something that he was really wanting to do. I don't know if he really wants to start a men's group or he just wants to start a group of people playing cornhole together. Maybe your idea is to start a walking group, or to have a back porch group or a potluck group that gathers just to help one another out and get to know one another in the church and support one another in faith. It's amazing. It is simply amazing what God can do when 2 or 3 gather in Jesus' name. And I just want you to know that whatever your idea, whatever your hopes, I hope that you will find a way to get connected with others at McKendree, that you will, if you've got an idea, you'll act on that. And just trust that whenever we gather as God's people, these small times together, well, God can use them in a big way. I'm thankful for you, McKendree. Thankful for all the ways that you serve God, all the ways that you connect together. I'm thankful for you, McKendree. I love you, and I am thankful to be your pastor.